Timothy, you didn't win. You didn't win. If it was as a competition, I'm talking about your effort to do well in... Was it an exam about statistics?
Oh, God. Christ, yes, this is true. I got a D on that, yeah.
You got a D?
I got a D, but I mean, I deserved that or worse.
But anyway, so you're in school, you're doing an exam in statistics. Your teacher, she's Miss Lawton.
Yes, Lawton.
Lawton, Miss Lawton. So what were the other kids doing? Were the other kids just doing...
Yeah, variation. I mean, some people presented parabolas and things that were more appropriate for statistics, you know, varied projects. Mine was not.
So tell the people what you decided to do.
Like a statistics song?
Yes, a sort of statistics rap.
Yeah, horrible, bad level, worst level.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, but you came up with a whole rap persona, didn't you?
Yeah, but not for that, I just had it.
Oh. So, is it Lil Timmy Tim?
Yeah, it's part of my,
So...
Oh, you're gonna regret. You're gonna regret.
Yeah. Gingerbread Man is nothing now.
Indeed. Now it's on the internet.
Well,
it's out.
But so how do we have this film? Did you post it? How does this film exist?
So I posted it. I did it with a friend on a green screen in school, and I'm pointing to different... I was gonna Photoshop my teacher's face in, but I got too lazy, so now it's kind of weird in the video. I'm pointing around, and there's nothing.
Well, here are the statistical rap stylings of Lil Timmy Tim.
Statistic, yep. Statistic, yep. Statistic, yep. Statistic, yep. Miss Lawton, Miss Lawton, Miss Lawton. Look at me, it's Timmy T. About to hit him with the ZTST. Let us see the probability you see me on TV. 1,000 trillion%. I'm a statistical gem. 1 in a zillion, about to net a million. Putting colors on these numbers, call it a million. Statistics. Yep.
Very good. Lil Timmy Tim. Excellent. Excellent work. You got a D. A D. Madness. Zendaya, it's been a few years since we last saw you.
Yeah, I was greatest showing.
Yeah, it was great show.
Yeah.
And we should say congratulations, Euphoria. You won an Emmy. Hey. I know. And that was that kind of proper lockdown Emmys. So where were you?
I was in my living room.
Okay.
I was in my living room, and it was actually really special because I think, you know, had it not been done that way that year, I wouldn't have been able to have my whole family with me. So I did it in my living room. There's my family. My dad, there's my mom's back there. You can't see it in this picture, but her face is like this. Like, it's so cute. My nieces, my little niece, my dog runs out from under the table when everybody starts screaming. It was really, really special. So I got to share it with them, which I couldn't imagine doing that any other way. And if I had done it in a real audience like this in front of everyone, I would have probably thrown up. I don't know what I would have done because I was so nervous.
But this was the one, wasn't it, where so how many? There must be 5 nominees.
Yeah, I believe so.
5 nominees, Best Actress in a Drama.
Yes.
But there was someone outside everyone's house.
Yes, in a hazmat suit that looked like a tuxedo. It was actually really cute. But what's not cute is everyone, no matter, all the nominees, someone would be in front of their house in the hazmat suit with an Emmy. And like that. And if you didn't get it, they would just
drive
leave.
Timothée Chalamet, and you'd met Timothée Chalamet before this, hadn't you?
Oh God, he'd met him about a year previous. We were doing the kind of award season rounds together, and I loved his surname Chalamet, and every time I read it as Shalamala Bing Bong. And when I saw him at this event, someone was coming to introduce me, and I said in my head, I was like, Timothée Shalamala Bing Bong, as I was walking towards him, to the point where it's now become such a name in my family that my gran met him last week at however many weeks ago, at the Paris premiere. And afterwards, she came up, she was like, I met Timothée Chalamet Bing Bong. So that's his name now in our family.
Sometimes I have to introduce the guests, but Saoirse and Timothy, now you know each other.
Yeah, we're best friends.
Yes.
Well, you might, are you? I don't know.
We're as close as we could be.
Okay. No, you met on, was it Lady Bird you met on, or did you know each other before that?
Yeah, we met on
Lady
Lady
Bird.
Bird.
Yep.
And we've kind of just been together ever since, because we ended up doing press together after that.
And what's the story with you calling Timothy Pony?
That's not a thing, is it?
You said it was a thing.
No, it wasn't. No, what happened was we were doing an interview when Timmy was doing stuff for Call Me By Your Name and I was doing stuff for Lady Bird. And we did an interview and I said in the interview that Timmy is like a horse. He'll just come up to you and he'll just sort of nuzzle you just randomly. And I think of him as a boy horse. Yeah, exactly, see? He's like,
So,
pony.
yeah, so it's not a thing.
But I'm not, hey, pony. That's weird.
Yeah, no, you'd never do that.
Really creepy.
Yeah. Javier. Pronounced correctly?
Yes.
Bardem. Now, listen, Silva is a fantastic villain. Really, really good villain. And I think what I liked about him much, he's kind of a righteous villain in that he believes he is right on his side. Is that what makes him more than a villain in a way?
I think it's more reliable in the sense that rather than being a person who wants to destroy the world just because he has a very personal goal to achieve, and he proceeds with a lot of clarity on it.
Yeah.
And I guess that's more reliable. It was for me as an actor, because I could understand better what was behind that.
But even in the audience, like, you sort of think, well, he's got a point. You know, yeah. And there's a brilliant sort of erotically charged scene between Silva and James Bond. Was that the way it was written, or did you just kind of decide to do it like that?
No, it was written like that. It was written like that, and then
He didn't encourage it, though.
He fanned the flames.
We play with it, and we had fun with it. I mean, it's...
No, they really do play with it and have fun with it. They really do. Now, you're quite the heartthrob. The ladies, you know, the ladies are very keen. Yeah. Marjorie's gagging for you. Marjorie can't say enough about you. She really can't. But even Marjorie might be put off sometimes by... sometimes you don't do something with your hair. Some of the hairstyle... Like in this, you've gone blonde in Skyfall, but your classic bad hair, it won you an Oscar in No Country for Old Men. Now, I always assumed that was... It is genius. I always thought it was a wig, but it wasn't a wig.
No, it wasn't a wig, unfortunately not. I had to live with that for 2 months in Santa Fe. Yeah, and no matter what I did with it, it will always stay that shape. So when I went to buy something on the supermarket, everybody will freak out for a second.
And didn't you have to wear a hairnet all the time?
Yeah, I had to wear a hairnet, and then, to put the thing on place. And then the last day of shooting, I went to shoot, and I have to take an elevator to go to the first floor of a building where we were shooting, and the elevator opens, and everybody on the crew were wearing hair. Yeah. And the Coen brothers were right there in front of me with a thing. Was it the hairnet?
Hairnet, yeah.
And then I realized, like, that's scary.
It is scary. Because you were so scary in that film. It's freaky.
That's what they pay me for. I'm such a nice boy.
You are. You seem charming. I saw Tom Hanks there playing Elvis's manager, Colonel Tom Parker.
What a legend.
But this is your first big role as a very experienced actor. Did he feel responsibility to you, or did you just go, this is your moment, you go, you shine?
Well, I had no idea what it was going to be like. You know, whenever you meet somebody that you admired for a long time, you hope that they're going to be warm to you, but you never really know. And somebody like Tom, you know, he's been doing this for so long, and he's such a master of his craft. And so I was intimidated. And then the first time that I met him, Baz had this little house in Australia with along this riverbank. And so I came, and I knew I was going to be meeting Tom for the first time. And I walked through the house and see Tom and Baz down by the river. And I come walking up, and Tom turns around and he sees me, and he goes, "My boy, give me a hug." And he gives me the biggest bear hug.
Oh, my God.
And then Baz said, "You know, let me give you guys a moment." And so Baz went into the house, and Tom and I just talked for so long. And at one point he said, "You know, I was at the studio earlier today, and I was choosing which doors I was going to throw up outside of for the first couple weeks." And I said, why, you nervous? And he goes, oh, yeah, I'm so nervous. I said, you're nervous? I'm terrified. And he goes, and nobody knows what Colonel Parker sounds like. Everyone knows what Elvis sounds like. Suddenly we were colleagues, you know? We were both being able to share in our fear and in our, you know, we were joined in that way.
And I read Ferguson, obviously, you know, with child now, so that makes stunts harder. But even when you did the last movie, you seem quite unsuited. I mean, you did suffer from vertigo going into these?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that does seem a bizarre thing to say yes to being in one of these films.
Well, I didn't really know what I was saying yes to.
OK.
Because I don't really know how these films were made. So, you know, when I was on the camel in the desert...
We explained it to you.
Well, no, very quickly, and then the first day of shooting, Tom, what did we do?
We jumped off a building.
Yeah. First day of shooting.
I think we've got a picture of you. So that you got...
That's me swearing and shouting the naughtiest words ever.
In my ear.
In your ear.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Swear. Did I say that? I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm just so...
The worst words ever. And then we jump off, and he just looks at me in the Tom Cruise kind of way, and he goes, welcome to mission.
I don't remember saying that.
I mean, not at all, but you have an old school hobby.
Yes.
So you knit, but you do more than knit.
I tried to start a new hobby while we were shooting Spider-Man. I got one of those, I don't know if you guys have them, but they're like little rugs that you can make, and you basically, yarn by yarn, you attach the thing and color coordinates to like a thing. I chose puppies.
Okay.
And I got about like 4 squares in, and I was like, I'm done with this. This is too tedious for me. So I got like a little corner of a rug, but that's about it.
But who taught you to knit?
My mom taught me to knit. All I can do is scarf, so I'm not like, you know, I can't get you I can't give you a sweater or like a vest or anything, but I get you a nice, thick, warm scarf, which is what I made for everybody.
Okay,
they're really good. I mean, I loved it as a pastime. I usually like little tedious activities, things I can keep my brain, you know, keep your brain occupied. And yeah, I just made everyone scarves because I couldn't. I was like, what am I gonna get everybody for Christmas? And I was like, I'll just make them some scarves. That's what I'm doing all day.
Yeah. Like them or not?
We were doing like the most intense fight scenes on set, and you used to come to set to watch quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I'd be there, I'd come and have blood all over my face. I've been fighting the goblin, and I'd turn around and you'd just be there knitting. How's your day going? Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I'm wondering now, Anya, in real life, have you been to one of these incredibly precious restaurants where you...
I have once, and it was a good experience, but I have to say that I'm a takeaway girl. Like, my palate is just not that refined. And also, if you go to one of these places, like, no offence to anyone that enjoys them, if you go to one of these places and you leave hungry...
Oh, you do?
Oh,
all you want is a hot meal. You leave pissed off your nuts, and you just think, I just want a
giving you another glass of wine. They're like, this glass of wine with
and then
this.
it's a
and
foam. Here's some foam with the wine.
Exactly.
I don't want foam, I want some fish and chips.
It also is that thing, isn't it? When you're in the restaurant thinking, what will be open on the way home? And Zendaya, in your story, I mean, I'm sort of in awe of what your parents did for you. I mean, how old were you when your parents kind of totally said, right, we're going to back you in your career?
No, I was pretty young. I'm super grateful because they I had this dream and I wanted to go pursue it, and I had parents who were totally down to support that. And both my parents are teachers, so my dad at the time he basically became like my stage dad, you know, and he would drive me up and back from, I don't know how many people know California very well, but it was like an 8-hour drive from where I'm from to LA. So we would drive up and back during the week sometimes for you know, auditions, callbacks, whatever, until it was actually quite quickly that I got my Disney show when I was a kid. So it's been a slow growth kind of thing, you know. I thankfully didn't, I had a nice protective system around me. My family, my brothers and siblings, we're talking about siblings, but they're all older than me, no fighting in the house. I was basically an only child. It was great. But you know, I have such a great support system, so I got all the protection I needed, and then as I was growing, I got to do it nice and slow and nice and steady.
Yeah. Rebecca, were you on today?
Yes, I'm going to stand up. I had this pose today with a semi-automatic rifle.
Yes.
With my belly like this.
6 months pregnant.
I'm glad you said that, because I wasn't going to say anything. That's what gets men in trouble. You're 6 months pregnant.
I am. I don't know what happened.
I can guess. Yeah, 6 months ago. Yes. You're having so much success and sort of popular success with films that, on the face of it, you don't think would kind of resonate in the way that they have, like this, or Call Me By Your Name. I mean, how surprised were you when that film found this huge audience?
No, absolutely, and man, that's why I'm so honored to be up here with you, Laura, as well. Like, I love movies, I love acting, I love going to movies. I was kind of getting scared when I was younger that maybe it was becoming like opera or something, like an outdated art form or something. And you see like Saoirse's movies, you see Laura's movies, you see Steven's, like, you know, these are great. Hopefully these are great things and a good way forward.
And yourself and Armie Hammer, when you weren't called by your name, so yeah, there you are, yay! And you get this wonderful opportunity, you go off to Italy to make it. Right. But it sounds like the director really threw you in at the deep end.
Yes, this is true.
So day one, he... I didn't anything.
No, we had a rehearsal with Armie that, you know, we basically had to break the ice, and Armie tells the story way better than I do, but we had to do a rehearsal outside, and Luca made it seem very spur of the moment, like we were gonna rehearse any scene. But then once we got outside, he had a very specific page number to turn to. It happened to be the first make-out in the movie or the first kiss. So Armie and I were kind of looking at each other like, all right, here we go. And so Lucas said, you know, dive into it, and we started making out. And there was no stop, there was no cut. So we waited like a minute or 2 minutes, and then we stopped making out, and Luca was gone. It was just a change. So it was very odd thing.
Is it you being bendy and doing the trapeze thing? Was there a moment when I think you overexerted yourself? Was it in front of Hugh?
Okay, see, here's what happened. Let me just clear the air, literally. So here's the story, people.
Literally.
All right?
Yeah.
So we're doing, I'm not gonna name the person because that's embarrassing, okay? But the point is we were doing a stunt in front of Hugh Jackman. Now I have very few scenes with Hugh Jackman, and I was very nervous. It was not you.
It's not you.
To clear the air. And I was on my, my A game because this is Hugh Jackman, and I do not want to mess up. So we're doing this thing where I'm basically up in the air, and I spin down, and I get caught, and I heard a fart. Now wait.
We all heard the fart.
We all heard the fart. Now, as a professional, I was going to carry on. It was not me. I just want to clarify right here, right now, it was not me. So they're laughing. The other person, okay, is laughing, and Hugh is laughing. I'm like, okay, are we just gonna pretend like it didn't happen? Or are we gonna laugh about it? And what happened was the person who was a grown man blamed it on me.
Yeah.
Oh. So Hugh thought that I farted. But the crazy thing, I would never do that.
No one thought that was you. No one.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
If I ever farted in front of you,
Yeah.
it would definitely be silent but deadly. I would never audibly. You know what I'm saying? I'm a lady.
Remember to self.
This summer, you're going to be causing nerdgasms in people because, but just because the poor nerds won't know, they won't understand because you're Thanos.
Why they're gasming?
Yes, they'll be happy they're gasming, but they'll be confused because.
I like how confused they just became.
No, because you're Thanos in Avengers: Infinity War, but you're also in Deadpool 2.
I know.
What's the timeline? What's happening? I don't understand.
And 3 weeks apart, coming out 3 weeks apart, and Avengers did well.
Quite well.
And we hope that Deadpool will break all those records.
I don't know.
Right.
It's got to. Look, they're tapping it. Yeah. And this whole, obviously, I listed a lot of your films there in your intro, but you haven't done these kind of big blockbusters with CGI and explosions and things. Are you liking this world?
Goonies.
Goonies, baby. Goonies. Yeah.
When you start with Goonies, you're kind of, whether you do Milk or No Country for Old Men, it doesn't matter because you started with Goonies, so therefore you can get away with anything you want.
I've never seen the Goonies.
What?
And we did a film together. I think I might have pretended that I had. Oh. I know. Is that really shocking to you?
It is shocking, only because I've met one other person who hasn't seen, or at least admitted.
Wow.
Who has seen the Goonies here? Obviously, a lot of people are lying, because that was like half.
Yeah, no, these two people, no idea.
No, never seen the
Really?
Goonies.
They've never seen this show. They don't know who anybody is.
You should see the Goonies. You should have some access to outside information.
Yeah.
Remember when I talked to you, just if I can, the Elvis voice was still very present in your voice.
Yeah.
And people have talked about that. But I think there's a lot less of it now.
I'm glad you say that. I hear it all the time.
So, do you think, will it eventually go... have you tried to get rid of it? Have you gone to a speech therapist or anything?
No, I mean... the thing is...
What did you sound like before?
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
I don't
madly
know.
different.
People pull clips from when I was 17.
Do you talk like that?
and it's really... I mean, to be honest, I've really... I heard my publicist told me the other day, you know, people are... I try to stay off social media, so my publicist told me, you know, people are talking about your voice and these sorts of things, and it really made me self-conscious for a second, because I thought, am I being phony? Is this not my voice? And then I thought, no, I'd have to think consciously to not talk how I am right now. But my voice sounds different when I talk to my dog, or when I talk to my dad, or when I'm here right now. You know, we all have different bits of ourselves that we're releasing. But when I was really questioning it, I thought, okay, for one thing, I'm older now. Maybe sometimes I have a Southern twang, but I don't think this is Southern. If I tried to sound like Elvis, I would sound very different right now.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna... You have to pay extra for that. But the other thing is, I think from all the singing, I probably have destroyed my voice a bit. You know, my vocal cords, it's a lot raspier now.
Yeah.
And so I just trained a lot, you know. I trained a lot, and then it turned out that I ended up doing all the singing for that early stuff.
You should just go now and Google it. Yeah. Very good.
Do you get much recognised?
Do you know who he is? You know who he is? Yeah.
Oh, you do? Oh, you're fine then. You stay.
I really want to learn that sidewinder move that you did in that clip.
Oh.
Can you show me it? Can you show me the move? I saw it, and I was like, what is that footwork? You like going side to side, and I was like, if I can learn that from you, that would be...
Oh, jeez. But you got the shoes for it. So, I mean, I can try to...
Right, here we go.
Tim, there's a step there.
There's a step. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Boots are hard to do it in, but I mean, you'll be better. You got the shoes, but essentially, it's to the side. Oh. See, it's hard on heels because you always lose balance.
Okay.
But essentially, it's.
Oh.
Yeah. You almost lost that arm.
Hold your emotion. Nice. That's gonna be in the show.
That's cool.
Nice one.
Léa Seydoux, bonsoir, bienvenue.
Bonsoir, merci.
Oh. And it strikes me, you know, because you grew up in France, was James Bond as iconic there? Like, were your family very excited when they found out you were going to be part of the Bond world?
Not at all.
Wow, they're in the audience.
Damn!
They don't really know about James Bond.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Did you not know about James Bond?
No.
Okay.
Lying.
And Léa Seydoux, you worked with Tom Cruise, obviously, who loves a stunt. So, in a fight, who would win? Daniel Craig or Tom Cruise?
Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Tom Cruise, of course.
Tom Cruise, of course.
Yeah, are you working with Tom next?
Yeah.
Actually, I meant to say Timothée. It's pronounced Timothée.
It's whatever you'd like.
Because I always thought, I don't know if you guys, I thought it was Timothée because of the double E's at the end.
It's supposed to be, but you could say Doug, Alex, Rick, whatever works.
I like guests like this.
Doug Chalamet.
Remembering names is half my job.
Oh, Doug Chalamet back in the building.
Does not work as well. Doug.
But you are fluent in the French.
Yeah, yes. Let's say 97%. I always like, give myself a little stopgap because it's not perfect.